We are live! Yay! All right. Hello, everybody. Hi, Craig and David. Hi, Jordan. Welcome. And whoever, if y'all are watching this in the replay, hello, welcome. I am Elizabeth, and I have the lovely Miss Beth here with me today, and we're going to do a fun game. So let me explain a little bit about what this game is. So Craig and David from Shelf Possessed have started this tag, and it's a tag game type thing based on a Newlywed Game. And basically, you partner up with somebody, you ask questions, you see how well you know each other's reading taste. So it's called the NewlyBooked Game. I should have all of that stuff linked down below, their original video, as well as their channels, and all of the questions. About the questions, we have kind of altered some of them a little bit just because I feel like it's geared more towards couples. So if you want to do this, consider yourself tagged, but it might be easiest if you have someone in your vicinity with you and someone that you know intimately, maybe a partner, and their questions would be perfect for that. If not, I've also linked our versions of the questions down below, which kind of cater towards more YouTube friends, reading buddies, etc., who maybe don't know each other quite as well. Hi, Hypatia. And oh, hey, Courtney. And so, yeah, that's the general gist of this. There are, let me see, 15 questions. So Beth and I both have, well, I have a dry erase board, and she has a pad and some paper, and we're going to be holding them up, holding our answers up, and we'll keep track and see who wins. Are you competitive, Beth?
Only when I know I have a chance to win, but I don't think I have a chance to win.
Okay. Beth, why don't you take a second to introduce yourself and your channel in case there's a single person on here that doesn't already know who you are. I feel like everyone who watches my channel probably already watches yours, but why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself just in case.
My name is Beth from Beth's All Booked. I'm here on YouTube and everywhere else, every other social media. I mostly read thrillers, and I like my thrillers a little on the darker side. Not like, I don't know. I like thrillers, and I've been dabbling into horror lately, and I've really been enjoying that. I do read the occasional like romance, but I find that it doesn't hit the spot. So we'll see. Maybe it's the darker things that I need. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know.
Awesome. Can everybody hear us okay? Is everything, are we coming across all right? Hi, Matthew. Yay, I'm so glad you guys are here, and I'm so glad we could do the tag. It's going to be so much fun. Y'all just let me know if there's like a volume issue or anything like that. Okay, what else do we need? Do I need to say anything else before we get into the game? Okay, thank you, Hypatia. I'm drinking a little bit of wine. Beth is stone cold sober. All right, so I guess we'll start. I'm going to tell you when I alter the questions so you know what the original tag questions were as well. So let's get started with number 1. Courtney's already trying to convince her husband to do it with her. That's awesome. You guys are both readers, right? So I couldn't get my husband to do this with me if I tried. He has no idea. He doesn't even know what kind of books I read. He has no interest in books. Okay, so the original question number 1 is, what was the first book they loved? And I love you, Beth, but I don't know you that well. So I don't know the first book you ever loved. So what I'm asking is this altered question: which author or book initially made them realize they wanted to be friends with you? So I'm guessing your answer. You're guessing my answer. Does that make sense? So you're going to guess which book you thought I saw, and I was like, oh, we need to be friends.
Oh, man.
Or author. or author. I'm going to write an author.
Oh, we're doing it now? Okay.
Yeah. I literally almost just wrote author.
I'm going to clarify. I haven't read anything by this author, but
okay.
No, by the author that I chose for you, I haven't read anything by this author, but but you were talking about their book and how much you loved it, and I was like, okay.
Okay.
You ready?
So my answer is the same answer as the answer that I think you're going to answer. So one of us is not going to get a point.
Wait, so I'm guessing the author that you were talking about, and I was like, okay, let me subscribe to her. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's what I'm guessing for you. You're guessing, it's confusing. You're guessing the author that made me want to subscribe to your channel.
Oh.
So if you had to guess what I thought when I first saw one of your videos.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Who wants to? You want to answer first? Answer your. Yeah. Go ahead and tell me what your answer is for me.
I don't know.
Oh. That's not. Wait. That's what. Y'all. Nope. This isn't. I'm supposed to guess first. You're not supposed to show them.
Oh. I thought I was supposed to guess your. I don't know. Okay.
I wasn't going to guess that though. I wasn't going to guess that, so I got that wrong anyway. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what you think I was attracted to about your channel? What author or book?
I don't know. I thought it was around the time when I was really obsessed with this book.
It was.
Which was like last summer-ish, I thought.
I think I worded this question confusingly.
And so I thought maybe like you saw me talking about this book all the time. I don't know.
Okay, I wrote Karen Slaughter.
Okay.
I wrote Karen Slaughter. Neither of us get a point for that. Let's move on.
I didn't know if you had read Karen Slaughter at that time. I was confused.
I had. Okay, let's see. Question number 2. Their question was, what is their weirdest reading habit? And since I don't read next to you, I changed this to, what is their funniest filming quirk?
Okay.
So you're answering what my funniest filming quirk is.
Okay.
That's what you're writing on your board.
Okay. And you're writing mine, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What I think you're going to answer for yours.
Okay.
So let me think. Okay. Thanks, Jordan. Jordan says that she's here for us during the confusion. No.
I don't know if this is a quirk, but I think it adds a little spice.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. So I think what you're going to say my weirdest reading quirk is that.
Oh, wait. Reading quirk?
What did I say? Oh, filming quirk. Filming quirk. Oh, geez. I literally have had like 4 sips of wine. I'm not even drunk yet. Like don't even have a buzz. I think you're going to say that mine is something associated with Denver.
Okay.
So hold up your sign.
Don't hold it up?
Hold it up. Tell me what you wrote. Yes! Okay, I got a point. All right. I'm going to try to keep track over here. That's great. All right, I got a point. All right, now Tell me what you think I wrote for yours.
A quirk? I don't know. That I don't ever finish my sentences. Like my thought process is scrambled.
All right. You want to know what I wrote? That's not what I wrote. I wrote not remembering your intro. Kids interrupting. They're always like, wait, how do I do this? How do I say hello? So you didn't get a point, Beth. I'm winning.
I knew I was going to lose. It's okay. I'm prepared.
Hey, it's still early. It is still early. All right, question number 3. Okay. This one is slightly altered. So the original question is what book character do they think they are most like? And I changed this to what book character do they wish they were most like? Just because I think it's more fun that way. So you're going to write down what character you think I wish I was most like. And I'm going to do the same for you.
A book character, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be so wrong. But I don't even think I know your favorite book.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's a question too, so.
You're all
so that one. All right, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
What is this? You're doing great. Write down the answers down and then answer out loud and reveal what you wrote. Okay, gotcha.
Took us a minute to figure it out.
Yay, we got a point. Okay.
I only say this because I've heard you compare yourself to this character as you are both redheaded and tall. So I'm going to say, no. Oh, man, I done messed it up.
Wait, did you?
I think so. I'm supposed to guess who you said I think I would want to be.
Yes, but I think I guessed the same for you.
Oh, you did?
I did. So, what did you write on your board? I guess the same for you, but what was your answer?
I don't think I would want to be any character in particular. I would just want to be involved in, like, I would want to be an FBI agent, or I would want to be a detective, or I would want to be, so, I mean, she fits because she is a coroner. Like, I would want to be involved in, like, being the nosy person in the case.
Okay. So should that count for me?
I think so, because I think she is one of my all-time favorite characters from, like, my non-childhood books.
Okay. All right. Well, we both got a point for that then.
Well, what would your answer be?
My Sarah Linton.
Okay.
We're right. I would want to be Sarah Linton, and I thought you would wish you were Sarah Linton too. All right. Question number 4. What is their most favorite and least favorite book trope? So you're going to write down what you think my most favorite and least favorite book tropes are.
So let's do most favorite first.
Yeah.
Most favorite first. So I don't really know tropes I know, like, romance tropes, but other than that.
This one's a hard one because it's a 2-parter and it could be literally anything.
I don't know if this is a trope, but we're going to go with it.
Yeah. If you think it is, it probably is.
Okay, have your favorite.
I have your favorite too.
So you want to do favorites real quick?
Okay, so don't write the least favorite.
Okay. I think that you guessed for me that my favorite is a serial killer a trope? No.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
That's what I would think you would guess for me.
I mean, technically that's not what I wrote, but it's pretty darn close. I wrote stabbing and slabbing.
Okay.
Okay. My favorite trope, I'm going to say isolation. Yes! Wow, we're doing good.
Okay, now least favorite.
Let's count those as points, and then we'll do least favorite as like a separate one. Okay, and then your least favorite trope. This one's harder.
I don't know what yours is, so I'm just going to put mine in. Maybe we don't like the same thing. Well, is this even a trope? I don't even know what a trope is. I need to go to school.
Okay, I think I have a guess, but I'm not sure. Let me see. Okay. I don't know. I honestly don't even know what my least favorite trope is. I guess I would say yeah, you're right. Romance is easier to think of tropes within that. Shoot, I don't even know. I feel like everything I'm thinking of I like.
I think it just depends on how it's done. Really. Because even the thing that I would say is my worst, I like books that have it. So it's really hard. But this one, like, if this is a trope, I don't know if this is a trope or if this is just a book thing or whatever.
Okay, why don't you say what yours is? Maybe I can think of one.
What mine is?
What
I guessed for you?
What you think I guessed.
Well, I can't tell you. I can't tell you because I said that I was going to put mine down on paper and hope it's yours too.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then for mine, I'm going to say my least favorite trope is.
I thought you were going to guess mine. I'm so confused.
I guessed yours on here.
Okay.
You gotta tell me what yours is.
Okay.
So that I can see if I'm right.
Oh, okay. So then I can say mine now that you already wrote something down. Yeah. Okay. So mine is ambiguous endings.
I can't believe I got that. Wow.
It's really
okay, cool.
rare that I enjoy an ambiguous ending. Like they have to give me something. And that's what I wrote for you.
I don't mind an ambiguous ending. I don't mind that. So that's definitely not mine.
I was gonna put like accidental pregnancy, but I don't think those happen in thrillers.
Yeah. Oh, Matthew says mental illness has a twist, or thrillers with paranormal twist. And actually, I don't mind either of those either. I actually like the mental illness as a twist as long as it's done respectfully and as long as it's done in a way that isn't villainizing mental illness, I guess. But I don't mind that at all.
Okay.
And I would say paranormal twists, but like I don't know if even by mentioning this book, it's kind of giving it away, but I think you guys know which book, if you've read it. She has a new book coming out, I think this month or next month. I liked that one. Can I say that? Do you know what I'm talking about, Beth?
I don't think I've read it, but I'm pretty sure I can guess what book it is.
Okay, don't say it. Let's see.
Only because, well, maybe her book has already came out. Didn't it come out last week? I don't know.
Oh, it might have. I'm not sure.
I thought it was going to be a book of the month pick, but it wasn't. If it's the same. I thought it would be because her others have been in the past. If we're talking about the same person.
Oh, Jordan knows what we're talking about. Lauren thinks she knows. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Oh, Paul's yet to get any of yours right. I know your fiance better than you do, Paul. All right, let's move on. What number are we? I think we're 5. I think we should both get this one. And number 5 is, what is the first book you both read together? Actually, this might be kind of tricky, but I know what I'm putting.
I know what I'm putting, but I don't think we read it together. But I think it was the first book club discussion that
That's
you
not what I'm putting.
attended. Oh,
That's not what I'm putting. Hint.
well, I don't know then. I don't.
You don't know? You don't know. We only had one book that we technically read together.
Oh, okay. What's the name of it? I wrote the author down. Hang on. What's the name?
Do I already have wine lip? Yes. Project Hail Mary. We buddy read this.
I don't know. And see, that was one of the questions that I was really thinking hard on today. Like throughout the day, I was like, there had to be a book, otherwise she wouldn't have made it a question. And then I was like, maybe it was False Witness, because that's the first like book club that I had that I remember you joining in the comments on.
Oh.
But technically we didn't read it together, but I don't know.
That one I think I had already read, though. I don't think I read it because of your book club. I think the first one I actually read because of your book club was If You Tell.
Okay.
Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're reading Project Hail Mary right now, Courtney? That book is so good. I don't think Beth liked it as much as I did.
I mean, I don't really care for science fiction books, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know.
You know what? I just started reading Dead Silence, and I know you read that last month, didn't you? And I feel like that one is really good for people who are a little iffy on science fiction stuff, because it didn't go that deep into the, well, as far as I am right now, I'm not done with it, but it hasn't gone super technical like Andy Weir stuff does.
No. It doesn't touch the level that Andy Weir is on. And honestly, I think that should have been a YA book. Like, I read it and I enjoyed it, but it felt really YA to me. I have it displayed on my shelves, though, because I think the cover is stunning.
Yeah. But it really is. I have it right here. I love this cover.
I don't normally like paranormal stuff, but because it terrifies me, but that book didn't really scare me at all. But so I was like, maybe it should have been a YA book.
I can see that, but also like the characters are older. So not older, but like my age, our age.
I think she's in her 30s. Yeah, she's older, but like it's a horror, and I was expecting it to be more horror. It wanted to be, but it didn't.
Yeah. I do like the kind of mental image, though, of like carrying a floating body like a balloon when you're like moving the bodies. You have this like mental image of somebody just like carrying it along.
The eeriness of the ship was really good. Like the Titanic, like eeriness. It kind of reminded me of when they went down under in the water and was doing the tour of the Titanic, but like in space. That was good. But I don't know.
I think it's more accessible to people than the Titanic, though, because you think like the people that were on the ship, without giving spoilers, I'm not giving spoilers, but the people that were on the ship that they kept talking about reminded me of like the Kardashians, like people who were famous, obviously rich because they could afford to get on the ship, but like who were famous. And like if you would think of like the Kardashians 20 years from now, if they had gotten on the ship and disappeared, and then 20 years later you're like, oh, I remember them. Kind of gave me that vibe. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, what are we on? 6? Okay, what is the book they most cherish?
This is a cheap one. I literally mentioned this book in every single TikTok that I've ever filmed.
Okay, I'm thinking, here's what I was thinking though with this. Not books that you love the most, because I think for both of us, that's going to be Pretty Girls. But like
Nope.
physical, it wasn't going to be?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I was going to say like the most, like the physical copy of a book that you cherish the most.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. You're not going to guess it, but okay.
Okay.
And I'm
All
not
right.
going to guess yours either. I don't
Probably
know.
not.
Yeah, because
I have
you've
two
never
answers
done like
for
a
you.
bookshelf tour or nothing.
I have two answers for you for mine. And so I'll give you two so that just in case, because one of them I've talked about and one of them I have, but not very much. Oh, Paul says he knows this one.
Don't wait. Give me a minute. I'm trying to like, your life is flashing back through my brain. Let me rewind. I'm trying to think. I'm not trying to think. I'm trying to look at your bookshelves.
Oh, can't really see it from here.
Dang it. I don't know. I don't know this one.
Okay, what's your... Okay, I will... Do you want me to... Did you write anything down?
No, because I don't know.
Are you passing or are you going to give up?
I'm going to pass because I could guess, but I genuinely don't know.
Okay, the one I was going to give you was The Humans by Matt Haig.
Okay.
Because that book is like so special to me, and Matt Haig's writing in general is so special to me, even though it's not my genre that I typically read. Okay. But my actual most cherished book.
See, I was thinking like, if your house were to be burning down and you can only save one book.
Yeah. This is my most cherished book. And this is First Person Plural by Dr. Cameron West. And the reason is because this is what got me interested in psychology.
Okay.
And this is it's called First Person Plural, My Life as a Multiple. And this guy, Cameron West, he has dissociative identity disorder. And he went through so much stuff. Really? He went through so much stuff. Let me explain this and then we'll get to that. He went through so much stuff with this, and he like documents his experience with it, his journal entries. Like, I don't know if y'all can see this. Like, he drew this when he was like a little kid. And then I found this at Half Price Books, and then inside is a note, a letter from Dr. Cameron West to whoever owns this copy of this book. And it's written on his stationery and dated 1999. So this is over like almost 25 years old, and just saying like, thank you for telling me about your story. Sorry you went through all that trauma, yada, yada. So whoever owns this book wrote him a letter, and he wrote them back, and I ended up with it. So that's why I love this copy of this book.
Okay.
For you, my guess was your Goobler book. What's his name?
No. Matthew. No.
Gray Goobler.
I mean, it is on display. But the thing is I can easily reorder another copy from Amazon.
Okay.
So that's what I was thinking. I was like, what book do I own that I cannot just order another copy off Amazon? Right?
Yeah.
So my first option, though, was Blindsided. I have 2 copies of it.
Oh.
I love this more than Pretty Girls. This was my first Karen Slaughter book that I read, but I can easily replace it. You know what I mean? So my other option is this one.
Why that one?
Because back in the back day when I first became a YouTuber, like in 2012, Hank Green was the shit. Everybody read Hank Green, and I went to a signing, and it's personalized to me, and it's signed by John Green. I meant John Green. It's signed by John Green and his brother Hank Green. Okay, which John Green, cool, he's cool and all, but Hank Green is where it's at. And, he's like really intelligent. He's the most smartest person that I know. I don't know him. And it's just like, I'm always watching his TikToks. I can't help it. So he's kind of like Matthew Gray Gubler, but in real life. And I have his autograph, and he even drew a fish in it.
So I think I know who these brothers are.
Uh-huh.
Because they've had a YouTube channel forever, right? And they talk about all kinds of...
They created, I believe, Patreon. They started that. They started DFTBA. They started VidCon. They've started a whole. They are like the pioneers of what we do, I guess. They still do YouTube, but now they've kind of taken over TikTok.
Oh, I need to like explore them some more because I think I've known who they are, but I never put together until recently that the one, and I can't even tell them apart. Like I don't know which one is which, but I never put together that the one is an author.
Both of them are.
I'll have to look more into that. Nerd Icons, Courtney says.
They both are authors. Hank actually writes sci-fi books, and John writes contemporary books.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that's the only reason why. It's because it's personalized to me. See, that's what I have a few other books that are also personalized to me, but I feel like that one, I don't know. I've kept it through all of my unhauls. I got rid of all my other John Green books, but I kept that one. It just, one day maybe I'll be able to sell it on eBay.
I did read that book actually though, and I remember I read it in a bar. And like back in the day, I used to have when I was like in my 20s, I had this bar that I would go to. It was like my Cheers, and I knew everybody there, and I would just sit at the bar and read. And I sat at the bar sobbing, reading that book.
Really sad. I've only read it one time. It's not even the book. Like I don't really care about the book. I read it one time back in the day. It was sad, but that's not really like when I want escapism. I don't want sad. You know?
Yeah, same.
I'll never reach for it anymore. I low-key wish I could like, I don't know, take the page. I guess I could take the title page out and just frame this. You remember back a long time ago, you used to could get like headshots and get people to sign them. They don't do that no more. But it's similar to that, I guess. I don't know. But
I don't think I own any signed books. I'm wondering, because I never even look. I'm wondering how many books on my shelf actually are signed that I've just never even thought to look.
I own a lot.
I've gotten at like half price books or whatever.
I have 3 Karen Slaughter signed books. But I didn't go to a signing to get those though. So like they're not as special. I mean, they're still special, but they're not as special. But I own quite a bit of signed books.
I know you do. You get like the nice stuff. All my books are just like shit copies.
Most of my books come from half price books, so I just gotta look. That's where I got my signed Kiss Cut from the other day. Was half price books.
I know. What luck on that. I'd pick my signed and limited edition of Addie LaRue that my boyfriend gave me for our anniversary. Oh, that's a great anniversary gift. And Marcus Zusek signed my copy of The Book Thief. Oh, I haven't read that. I have not read that.
But I hear it's really, really, it's a really loved book. It's a lot of people's favorite book.
I know. I started it once and I didn't get into it, so I put it down. But I do want to read it again eventually. All right, let's move on. What's our next question? Number 7. Which one of you has read the most books? I'm honestly not sure.
Me neither.
About this one. I'm going to guess this.
Let's just both hold it up. 1, 2, 3.
I'm assuming you have. I haven't been an avid reader for that long. Like, I mean, probably the last like 5 years I've been reading a lot, but before that,
okay.
I never read. And I know you've had a YouTube channel for a lot longer than me.
Maybe from like 2012 to 2015, I would read like 100 books a year, and then I started going to. Then I was like a full-time student, and it went from 100 to 0. And then I started reading again, and then I got pregnant, and then I got pregnant again, and then I'm finally back in my mojo. So there was like a huge gap there for me where I hardly read anything because life got in the way. But now I'm back.
I think you've probably read more than me. I'm not sure if this is Dave. I think this is probably David asking. I never know which one of you I'm talking to. I assume if I'm on YouTube, I'm talking to Craig, and if I'm on Instagram, I'm talking to David, but I don't know. But I'm assuming this is David asking this question because I know he loves that book, and no, I have not read it, but it's been on my radar since I saw you talk about it from this tag video, actually. And I recently heard Kat mention it from Kat Chats, and so like I'm very interested in it.
I don't even think I've ever heard of it. I'm gonna write it down though. The title alone has me intrigued.
Yeah, I think is it a horror book? Courtney, is the Sob book you're talking about a certain hunger? Because now I'm nervous.
It's probably The Book Thief. I believe The Book Thief is a really sad.
Oh, okay. As far as like those books that make you cry, that's a weird thing because I never want to go into a book wanting to cry, but if it makes me cry, if it hits me like that, then I love it. Like Migration did that for me.
I cried reading Blindsided. Okay.
I don't think I cried reading that one actually.
When I read it the first time, I didn't. When I read it the second time, it wasn't like a cry, like broke my heart cry, but it was like a cry, like it just brought emotion, because like I loved it so much when I was done. I was like, yeah, I really do love this book. And it just made me get emotional. Not like tears down my face cry, but like my eyes.
That's so sweet. If Karen Slaughter heard you say that, she's like, oh, that love and endearing love for.
Well, I did cry in another book by her, but because she literally stabs you in the heart.
Oh man, I'm scared to get to the end of that series. I'm gonna read Indelible this month. I'm on book 4 of Grant County, so we'll see how that goes. I know when you read the last one, you like something happened. I'm like, what is it? What is it? What Courtney said, no, it's not an execution did that for me. I ended up stopping several times. I'm usually not a book crier. Oh no. I haven't watched your wrap up yet, Courtney, but I know that was included and I was interested in how you felt about that. Because this one was one of my anticipated books. Did you read this one, Beth?
No, but I have it.
I definitely want to get to it.
Now, okay, I will say that I won't go into a book knowing, like I won't reach for a book if it's like a Nicholas Sparks. I used to love Nicholas Sparks, but like you have to be in like people say you got to be in a headset for the shit that I read, but you really got to be in a good headset for some Nicholas Sparks or some John Green. But if it's a book that I wasn't anticipating it to be sad and it turns out to be sad, like my all-time favorite book is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I cried my fucking eyeballs out.
Yeah, I cried on that one too.
And then it made its way to my favorite book, my favorite adult book.
Yep. All right, what's our next question? Let's see. Oh, this one's easy. What is their favorite genre?
Oh. I would say, should we make it harder by doing subgenre? But you already know that too, so it don't matter.
That's what I'm writing anyway. Okay. My answer is thriller, horror. What did you write for me? And what is your answer?
Thrillers.
Yep. Crime thrillers.
I'm liking horror, but horror is like I'm new, and it has to be. I think crime horror, is that even a thing? Well, no, horror that involves blood. So like slasher,
blood horror, body horror,
torture porn, that kind of stuff is what I like in horror. But I also like the Trope. The Trope is like. Is that a creature feature? I don't know what a creature feature is. What is the Trope?
I would say the Trope is body horror.
But in a good way. Okay, body horror.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's creature feature because...
I mean...
But I see where you're getting that from. I see where you're coming from with that. What was I just going to say? Oh, with horror, I feel like I'm actually sometimes liking horror more than thrillers these days. I think you and I have talked about this before, but it's kind of like I'm feeling like I'm having this like natural progression, like a serial killer, though I would never kill anybody, but how like they have to like it does like something they get used to it and then it doesn't excite them anymore, so they have to go that much farther and that much farther. So now I'm like, oh, what's next?
Yeah, because like I started out with Ruth Ware, and I thought Ruth Ware was dark, but then like I slowly made my way deeper, and like I started reading police procedurals, and I know people shit on them, but hear me out. A lot of them are darker than your regular thriller. So then like, you get to see the blood and guts in that, and then it's like you want more. And you like I read Brother by Anya Alborn, and I was expecting it to be horror, but I have to realize that sometimes horror is not even as dark as some thrillers that I read. But I wanted it to be darker than what it was.
Horror is such a big genre too. Like there's so much, it's so all encompassing, and there's so many subgenres within it. So it's like it can be something like if a ghost is even mentioned, like it's technically horror, you know, because it's got some kind of paranormal aspect. And that book may not be super scary, but it's still considered horror. So it's like there's so many levels to horror.
And it's also like where's the line at for horror and thriller? Because I also find like, for example, again, Brother by Anya Alborn, I guess the horror aspect, and that would be the cannibalism, but they don't even go into detail. They just say like, we saw.
Oh, really?
That's not a spoiler, like you know that in the synopsis. But like to me, Pretty Girls was a lot more horrific and detailed than this was, but this is considered horror, and Pretty Girls is not considered horror. You know, so like what exactly?
Where's the defining line? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have Simone St. James writes about ghosts, but she's considered thriller and not horror. You know what I mean? So it's like,
is she considered thriller? I mean, I don't know.
As far as I know, yeah.
Huh. I think I tend to think of the distinction as more of like a pacing thing when it comes to like horror and thriller that have similar tropes. Like if it's fast paced, I feel like with a thriller, it's supposed to be faster paced and be more twisty, whereas horror can kind of take its time a little more.
Because Brother did drag a lot,
and you're not necessarily in it for the twists, although they can be there. You know what I mean?
You're just in it for the gore,
potentially, or you know, the paranormal or whatever subgenre of horror it is. What is it? Oh, it's Craig typing, by the way. Okay, Craig. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Okay, number 9. Describe their ideal reading situation. So I'm going to write what I think you're going to say your ideal situation is.
I do have the book Thief. You're not going to guess my ideal situation, but go ahead and try.
Oh, is it kinky?
No. We're doing realistic though, right? I'm not supposed to be putting like you're on the balcony of a hut in Fiji or anything.
Yeah, realistic.
Okay.
You know what? I'm not even going to get specific with my answer. I think you said I'm not going to guess it, so I probably won't, but this is what I envision you saying. I can see what you're writing. Be more discreet. Okay, so my answer, hi, Kat. Oh, hey, Kat, thanks for coming. What did Courtney say? It's kind of like Misery. Shouldn't know if it would be a thriller or horror book. It's kind of both.
Yeah. Well, the lawnmower scene in Misery, I think, kind of pushed it to the horror, in my opinion, because that was like far-fetched. Still good, but like those little
I have seen the movie but not read the book, and there was no lawnmower scene in the movie that I know of, so I'm intrigued.
The movie is quite different. The book is better.
Interesting.
Okay,
my ideal reading situation is an audiobook.
Oh, I didn't put what type of book.
You don't have to.
Okay.
And playing some kind of mindless game, coloring or whatnot. Probably in the bathtub, to be honest.
Okay. I didn't.
So what did you put? What did you make?
I put on your purple couch with wine and a sleeping Denver.
Aww. Denver doesn't sleep around me. He is always alive. Yes, always alive. He's always awake and obnoxious. In fact, I have no idea where he's at right now. I cannot believe he's not made a cameo in this live show. I wonder if Jordan locked him in the bedroom to keep him away. Because every time I talk to the camera, he is so confused and he's like, "What are you doing, Mom?"
My kids, my daughter, when she sees a tripod sitting up, she'll stand in front of it and start talking to the tripod now. And then you'll hear her playing with her toys and she'll be like, "Okay, guys, let's go." And I'm stop watching me.
That's so cute. Don't mind me. I'm gonna get the purple off my face for my wine.
Okay. Mine would be an audiobook. And I was thinking I would have to be doing laundry or washing dishes or something, only because I feel like those are the times when I can concentrate on the book the most, is when I have my hands busy doing something else, something mindlessly, versus a lot of the times if I'm just sitting down trying to listen or trying to read, my mind is thinking about something totally different.
That's the most realistic situation for me. That's pretty much every day for me is doing stuff around the house, listening to audiobook, and that's if not the ideal reading situation, the most likely for sure for me.
And I tend to remember, even if I'm coloring on the coloring app, if it's mindlessly doing something, I tend to remember the book better than if I were to just be laying in bed listening to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird. But that's what it is.
And I've said before that I really I do really like listening and reading at the same time if I have the physical book. Mm-hmm. But it's not my favorite because if I'm sitting reading a book, I'm anxious because I'm not being productive because
that's why I can't watch, I see you binging or watching a lot of stuff on TV. I can't do it because I get anxious. I have to get up and go do something. I can't just, when we try to watch TV shows, I can only watch one episode and then I have to get up and go do something. I can't sit there. It pisses Paul off because he's like, let's start Criminal Minds all over from the beginning, which I'm down for, but let's do it in bed when I'm going to sleep. Therefore, I have to sit there and watch it. Otherwise, I don't.
That's when I watch TV, is in bed and going to sleep. Yeah.
I can't sit on
TV. What does she say? My main genre is thriller, horror, mystery, paranormal, but I've branched out into other genres. Yeah, pretty much same for me. Okay, let's move on. Next. Oh, wait, you didn't tell me your answer.
I did.
Oh, you did. Oh, I got it wrong. I put no kids.
That too. But no, because then I wouldn't be able to read because I'd be stressing about who has my kids. And,
I understand that.
I can't do that. But if they're outside playing in the yard, then we're cool. Call me Bread because I love you. Hello.
What'd you say?
Call me Bread because I love.
I love it. I love anyone that can do that. My anxiety cannot, I'm so bad about that. Okay, number 10, I have changed. The original question was, what was the last book they bought? And I don't follow Beth around, so I don't know, even though we both live in Texas.
I don't even know.
And even though Paul accidentally let slip her town that she lived in one time, and I'm actually next door right now. I'm just kidding. So I changed this to, what is their biggest bookish pet peeve? And I want to specify this within like reading trends, like book trends and things like that. Biggest bookish pet peeve. So I think I have a guess for you.
I don't know if this is even in the book, in the what you were talking about, but I can't think of anything else. Give me an example. Okay. Are we talking about like the podcast trend that's going on with every single book having a podcast?
No, but that is not a pet peeve for me. I mean, actually, that could be included.
That's like a trend that you're talking about, or are we talking about like Amazon printing hardcovers with no paper, with no dust jacket?
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
They do that?
Those are examples. That's not my answer.
I didn't know they did that.
Well, like if you order a hardback copy of a Colleen Hoover book, the publishers don't make them in hardback, so Amazon prints them for you. Like this is what they look like. I recently returned one because they sent it looks like this. It's printed on the book because it's printed by Amazon.
But it's hardcover?
Yes. It's hardcover.
Huh.
And it's like paw print, and there's no jacket. I ordered.
That's kind of cool, actually. I like that. They don't have to worry about the jacket.
But this is ugly. Like, I want the dust jacket, because then what if like in 30 years from now, because if you think back when we were little kids, the trend wasn't to have a dust jacket on. The trend was the books to look like this, So what if like in 50 years, if they're to look like this, you can't turn on your books to look like that because you still got the ugly Amazon printed one.
I mean, you have a point, but also like the dust jacket serves the purpose of protecting the book too.
But really, I like to protect my dust jackets. Like you take your dust jacket off to read it.
I do that, but that's just
supposed to leave it on to protect the book, but you really protect your dust jacket.
I treat my books like shit. Like I do all the things. I break the spines, I dog ear, I write in it. Like I don't give a about it. Like
I used to be really anal about my books. I wouldn't even buy used books. I wouldn't buy used books. I wouldn't own paperback books. If they didn't come out in hardback, I would only buy them on my Kindle. That's how anal I was. But I have recently, I feel like it makes your bookshelves look cozier when your books look loved. You know what I mean? So now I don't care. So I don't care if I go and buy a book. Like a lot of my Karen Slaughter books have like stickers on them from Goodwill or wherever. I don't care. Like now, I mean, my books are good, but I don't care if they're.
I think my answer is wrong then. I like, for me, the thing about books that I really love, especially when I buy used books, is that when I find someone else's writing in it, I think it's like the coolest thing ever, because then I get to experience what they experienced as they read it, and you get to see how different points of the book affected them. Like something that maybe affected them, maybe I just breezed by and I wouldn't have even stopped to think of that if I hadn't seen that writing in it, So that's why I think it's cool, just like have that bit of personality in your books. Like I think I'm intrigued by that and I like it. So I write in them whenever I can. And hopefully one day, maybe when Hadley's grown up, she'll open a book and read one of my books and she'll get to see what I thought about certain things, or, I don't do it that often because I mostly listen to audio, like, as you know, but like when I do, like, I just think it's kind of,
that's not bad for you. But like, I just imagine all the people, because typically people who tab their books up and write in their books, they mostly read romance. And I could only imagine the notes that they're leaving in the margin that I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want my kid to come across. Even when my kid's 25, I don't want my kid to know that I thought that when he was eating her booty in the shower, that it was not.
You have a point there. You have a point. So what would you say is what's your answer for biggest bookish pet peeve or trend?
I don't know. Lately, I've been wanting to cancel my book of the month because I hate how all of my shelves are turning into these little squares at the top of my books. I wish book of the month would do that. But other than that, I'm not really as picky as I used to be in like looks. I can't think of anything else.
I wrote stickers and the books being different sizes because I know that with your Grant County collection, I know that bothers you that they're like different sizes.
Okay. When they're part of series, absolutely 100%, because I want the series in itself to match. I want the series to have like cohesive covers. If like fantasy is the worst of that, but yes, the sticker part, it depends. If they're like half price book stickers where I can peel them off, that's fine. But the other ones, it kind of pisses me off when they don't come off. What's yours?
Probably that, like paperback books when they don't come to when the cover doesn't come to the end, like that really bothers me. What are the setbacks? Is it called?
Oh, okay. Like in a romance book. I mean, every once in a while, a thriller will do it.
Romances.
The romance genre is what started it, but I think some thrillers will do it now.
Yeah,
when it has a step back, it leaves the cover a little short, so you know that there is a step back, which is ridiculous. I didn't think about that, but I chose fake stickers. Like where it looks.
That actually is. I don't like that either. I'm gonna give you a point for that because I really don't like that either. What is this? I hate deckled edges. I actually really like deckled edges.
I like the aesthetic of a deckled edge, but when I go to read it, I don't like it. Because I don't like, it's like hard to turn the page to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that is an aesthetic thing. Okay, let's see. What is a book I think we're on number 11. Yeah. What is a book that you both hated? I know what I'm putting. And I think you hated this one.
I feel like I'm a very passionate person, and people tend to know the books that I really hate and the books that I really love. I'm an open book, though, so you should know all of my answers because everybody knows, like, you probably even know my blood type.
I do not know your blood type.
Oh, probably because I don't know my blood type. A book that we both hated?
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't hate this one, but it definitely didn't live up to the hype. And I know that you didn't live up to the hype for you either.
Oh.
But I can't think of one that we both hated.
That's not my answer. I know what you're putting.
How do you know what I'm putting?
Because I know what you're putting. Because I actually did like that one. I don't think it lived up to the hype, but I did like it.
Oh.
I think I gave it 3.5 stars or 4 stars. 3. Maybe 3 stars. I don't know.
I didn't read that. This one?
No. I'll try to help.
This one?
No, the right.
I don't think she read that
silent
one.
Yeah.
This?
Yeah. Look, I'm talking out loud.
I think she liked that book, though. Get away.
I want to know what he's pointing out to you.
I think she liked it. He was pointing at the silent patient. I think you liked that one, though.
Oh, I do like the silent patient. Yeah. Paul, you're misguiding her.
Okay. You want to do this 1, 2, 3 since we're both supposed to have the same answer? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's a good one.
I did hate that one though.
Yeah, and I hated this one. Nothing but Black and Teeth. I didn't know that you didn't like Southern Book Club.
It's a 3-star.
That one triggered me so hard.
It didn't trigger me
so hard.
It didn't trigger me. It was the first half of the book I thought was good. I loved like the 90s vibe, the moms getting together, like the acid wash jeans going on. But then like when the vampire stepped into the story, like I wanted like a vampire.
Yeah, me too. I thought there was going to be some like sexiness in there somewhere, and there was not at all.
I didn't even think that. I wanted like a vampire that was like sucking people's blood from their neck, not their thigh. Like to me, that. Oh, my bad.
No, you're fine. I was just pointing down to
the. Spoiler? I hope not.
The kitty cat. You just say Baja. What did you say? Oh, you said thigh. No, that's fine.
Okay. I was expecting like a Dracula type. Not Dracula, but like, what's the blonde-headed vampire on True Blood? Like one of those kind of vampires, you know? This was a good vampire. And like, I wanted the normal.
I did too. But what really bothered me was the gaslighting. That not just like from her husband, but from like all of her friends. Like nobody believed her for the whole story. And nothing happened until the very end. And it drove me nuts that like I felt for her. I think I related to her too much. And
which, I mean, if you were to come to me and be like, Beth, I think the people living next door to you is a vampire, I wouldn't believe you either.
Well, you might have to reconsider this friendship then.
Because vampires aren't real. And so they weren't supposed to believe her. And I think back in the 90s, all men were gross. You know, like if you were even now to this day and age, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I get not a lot of shit like from people that I know in real life, but I get a lot of shit talked. And it was probably even worse back in the 90s. I think the way that he portrayed that was realistic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it probably was too. Yeah. And I got to give that to Grady Hendrix because I feel like all of what he portrays in his books, you know, are real. I do think it's coming from a place that's like real. It just triggered me, and I could not. Like I was just so mad at it. I was mad at him for doing what he was trying to do. I get that. Like I totally get that.
But now I know that I know for future reference, like when I go into his books, not to take them seriously because I don't think he is a serious author. But I didn't know that when going into Southern Book Club's Guide. But now I know that. And like, I like the part. I think he can be good at being gross because like the roach in the ear and the rats and all that, he did a great job at that. But I just didn't like the vampire. I wish it would have been a normal. Are they normal? Probably not.
I loved My Best Friend's Exorcism. Like that one had a little bit of the gaslighting, but it didn't get me like that. Like the stuff. What the hell, Denver? Oh my God. It didn't hit me like that, and I liked the like friendship aspect of that one.
I haven't read that one yet, but I haven't.
Denver just scared the shit out of me.
I saw.
Okay, let's move on. Let's see. Number 12. Okay, I altered this one. The original question is, what is the best book they have gifted you? And we haven't gifted each other any books. So I changed this one to, what book do you love that they would never read? So I'm going to guess a book that I love that I don't think you would read.
Okay.
And you're going to guess a book that you love that you don't think I would want to read.
So this is going to be a book that I love that you won't read, not you love that I won't read.
Wait, now I'm confused. Yeah, you're gonna guess what you think I would say that is a book of yours that you love that I would not read.
Okay. Does it have to be a book that I read recently, or can it be a book that I read like 20 years ago?
Well, do I know that you love it?
No. Okay, so it has to be a book that you know. Okay. Well, this is hard because I feel like we read similar stuff, and I feel like I add a lot of your books to my TBR.
Wait, I've confused myself on the question. Wait. I'm writing down a book that I love that I think you wouldn't want to read. So you write down a book that you love that you think I wouldn't want to read.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Let me look at my Goodreads shelf.
Hi, Jesse. Thanks for popping in. I know you were doing sprints tonight too, so I'm happy to see you here. Did you both read The Final Girl Support Group? I did read that, and I really liked that one too. Why isn't this popping up? Wait, that's not right. Oh, yes, I did read that, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I don't think I thought it was more of a thriller though than horror.
Hey, can I pause for a second?
Mystic Gaming, what's the code? I don't understand the question. Please rephrase the question.
I think that's a spam. Sorry, my daughter got stuck.
Wait, is there spam in live shows? How is that possible?
I don't know, but we get spam.
Oh, weird. Okay. Kathleen, joining after Jess's friends. Hi, Kathleen. Welcome. What happened to your daughter? She got stuck?
She has toy boxes that are wooden, and one of them's tall and skinny, and she was on top of it and couldn't get down.
Oh, bless her heart. I gotta think of my answer for you. Okay, so if you just got here, the question is a book that we love that we don't think the other person would want to read. I didn't write what I would answer for that. So a book that you love that I wouldn't want to read.
Wait, so I'm supposed to write down a book that you love?
No. A book that you love. I'm trying to think of my answer for you. Yeah. You're writing down a book that you love that you don't think I would want to read.
Okay.
Well, you have to have answers to both of the questions. You have to answer for the other person and for yourself. Denver, come here.
Okay. My guess that I think that you wrote on your paper is Matt Haig's book that was your #1 book of last year. That's my guess.
I wrote Night Bitch.
Oh, I own it. Why would I not want to read it?
I don't know. I think I knew you bought that too, and I forgot. I don't know why. I just feel like that would be something you wouldn't want to read. Because it's kind of I
don't know, because when you were talking about it, because I remember when I read a book a long time ago not a long time ago, 2 years ago, called Recipe for a Perfect Wife. And it's about a woman who's, kind of not in the mom, that one's about a mom that's all she feels like she is a mom. And this one's about a woman who all the only thing, all that she feels is she's a wife and nothing else. I don't know. And I felt like it was really similar. And that's why I was well, maybe that's the horror version, but not, I don't know. Anyway, so I got that wrong.
Yeah, but I would have guessed that, but I know that you did buy that one too. You bought the
Right. I bought that one because Paul said to buy it. Paul made me pick. Paul likes sci-fi and those kind of books, and so he assumed that he would like it. If Paul would have said, add the humans to your cart, I would have never bought it.
Between you and Paul together are my book tastes, basically. Add on the sci-fi, because I know Paul likes the sci-fi, and Paul just, the book that he just read, I added to my TBR. It sounded really good. The Murder in the Apollo, or whatever it was.
Yeah, the Apollo Murders.
That one sounded really good. And I'm craving sci-fi right now. Huh?
It's written by an actual astronaut.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's cool. Okay, so a book that you love that you don't think I would want to read. I'm going to say, what book do you love that I don't want to read? That's really tough because I really like to read a lot of the books that you like. I'm gonna say like a romance, probably. Okay.
Because I think that's where our taste doesn't align.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe a book that you love that I don't want to read. I don't know a specific. I know that you liked It Happened One Summer, and I did read that though and hated it. But another one that's similar to that, maybe like a Tessa Bailey book. But I do love some romance. I don't know. I give up. What did you write? Is it a romance? Ugly Love. Oh, why wouldn't I want to read Ugly Love?
Okay, because I don't know. When it comes to Colleen Hoover, I don't like her like toxic older books like November 9, Confess, and those kind. And I like the more ones where they're like adults. So like All Your Perfects and It Ends With Us and Verity. But the only exception is Ugly Love. I don't know why. I just really love it. Don't come at me that it's toxic. And I feel like it would be a book you pick apart really hard in romance. I feel like you would pick it apart. I don't know. I don't think you would enjoy it. I feel like you would pick it apart too much to want to enjoy it.
Okay. So I didn't know that because you've always said that you loved it. So I just assumed it was good because I don't know that much about Colleen Hoover.
Mm-hmm.
So like the ones that I have read, I haven't read one that I didn't like. I read
which ones have you read?
I think just Verity and It Ends With Us. I think those might be the only two that I've read, and I really liked both of them.
So did I. Those are both 5 stars from me.
Mm-hmm.
But even Colleen Hoover on her Instagram said if she had the option to rewrite some of her books, the very first ones on her list would be Confess and November 9. And those are my most hated books by her because of the toxicity that is radiating off the pages. And I think you would hate them as well. But Ugly Love, there's something in there that happened to me around the same time in my life. And I didn't know how to grieve then because I was really young when it happened. Not really young, but it was when this book came out, like 10 years ago. I was really young. And when I read the book, it kind of like, I feel like it helped me get through what I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
I reread it last year just to like verify that it was still a favorite. And I cried my eyeballs out. And that's why I love it. But if take that experience out, and I don't think that I would love it as much. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it would be one of those books where you would be like, no. Power. I don't know.
Craig wants to know, is Layla good? I haven't read that.
You got to go into Layla knowing that this is an off the wall. It is off the wall. But Colleen Hoover is like, if you like not know her as a person, but know her as a person, like watching her Instagram and stuff, then you know that she's not. I enjoyed it, not like 5-star enjoy, but you just got to go in spending every single drop of disbelief in your entire body when you read that book.
Interesting. I actually own that one and I was going to read it, but Ashley from Ashley's Little Library told me she thought it was going to trigger me. So I haven't read it, but part of me wants to anyway.
See, the thing is, Elizabeth, at the beginning of your booktube career, you used to always talk about you got to just read Riley. Life is short. Read Riley. When you go into your romance books, I need you to take your own advice.
Oh man, you know what? You're right. I think it's been since I've been taking this class. I'm in a class right now, for those of you that don't know, that's gender women's studies class. And it's
ruining your reading experience.
It's women's studies, gender, human sexuality, and I'm like I'm like hyper aware of just all of the like patriarchy and like everything that's like pushing us and molding us to be who they want us to be, and I'm just like no. And so like those romances that I read, that just like hit me in that spot where I'm like, I can't do it right now. I can't, and you're right. I should take myself less seriously, but it's like so at the forefront of my brain right now.
I even think Ashley from Ashley's Little Library is more like critical and hard like, on ratings and stuff when she reads romance. To me, when I read a romance, I put all like my expectations aside. If I get like kitty butterflies or if I'm falling in love with these characters, and I don't care. I don't care if the love is unbelievable. I don't know. You just have to like go into it pretending like you're not yourself. I don't know how to explain it. But if you think about it, if all these books had the perfect man according to these professors that are teaching these classes, we would be sick of them. Like we wouldn't be able to ever open our own door. And sometimes I would want to open up my own door. Like, I don't know.
I think there's a way you can do it that's respectful and still sexy.
Well, yeah. But I'm talking like, it would be like if every single dude was a Prince Charming, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I would like somebody just say something mean to me for a little bit, slap me around, something.
Well, that
How can you wash a dish? I don't know. I feel like I would get tired of it every once in a while. So I don't mind it. Same with like a lot of people give Stephen King shit because they like, why does he have to describe a woman's boobs when she walks in through the door? Name a man that is straight, that doesn't look at, I mean, even the gay one's probably looking at a woman's boobs because I look at women's boobs. So it's like, to me, it's normal. But somebody who's taking those classes would disagree. So I better stay away from those classes or I'm going to hate all the books that I read.
I agree with you because I think it's totally fine to aesthetically appreciate the human form and the human body. But I also acknowledge my own internalized misogyny.
Yeah.
And part of that is what makes us feel like we need that, like, we need someone to, like, treat us like shit because it's, helps, it makes it spicier, it makes it like more exciting and we like the chase and we like, whatever. But like at the same time, like, why do I think that?
I don't know. But it's
because of these pressures that are being put on us.
I get it. But it's also like today me and Paul got in a little tiff because every time I would walk by him, he would like touch me or like, like what I meant, like just like I sit next to him and he wants to hold my hand and I'm just like, fucking stop touching me.
Let the man hold your hand.
Sometimes I'll just like, just leave me the hell alone. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this whole thing, but I just feel like.
Courtney says it's so tough. I took a lot of gender studies courses, but also fiction censorship courses. Oh, interesting. So the line between art, political, social beliefs is way thin. Mm. Art, political, social beliefs?
Probably.
Is way thin. Interesting. Fiction censorship is a whole nother discussion. Like, that's like the whole nother thing. Let's move on. What question were we on? I'm getting sidetracked. Okay, number 13. Okay. I altered this one. The original question is, at what age did they first identify as a reader? And I don't know you that well, so I changed this to, which is said to best friends that anyone could have. I changed this to number 13. What book made them cry? And I've already answered my question during this live show, so if you have been paying attention.
I mean, I already told you what books made me cry as well.
That's true. That wasn't even going to be my answer for you, though it was going to be that author. I think I'm going to put this just in case.
I don't even remember the one you mentioned throughout this live.
Do you remember a book that made me cry?
Yeah.
Not the one I told you before we went live.
Nope, that's the one I have on my paper. Other than that one?
No, you can't put that because no one even knows that I read that yet. That's a secret TBR.
Oh, okay.
Insider information.
Something else. Have you read A Little Life? Probably not.
Hell no. Hell no. I can't. No, I can't put myself through that. Mm-mm.
I'm just taking a wild guess. I don't think
Okay.
this would make you cry though, because it didn't make me cry. So never mind. Hang on.
I cry a lot, actually.
I don't remember. Somebody tell me in the comments. What did you read that made you cry?
Hope you guys don't mind me vaping.
Paul vapes. Paul smokes.
I've been trying to be better about vaping instead of. I don't smoke that often anymore, but I do every once in a while. But typically, I just vape.
Oh,
Okay.
did you cry in that one, Kat?
Oh, cat. Cat.
I feel like but you cried in a vlog when you read that one. I remember now. There was another vlog that I watched you cry because your mascara was all over your face.
Yeah. Do you remember which one that was?
No. She read it. Oh!
Did you write it down? All right. Kat was right. It was migration. Is that what you wrote? No?
I felt like that was cheating.
What did you write? That was my answer. I have no idea that's not a word, Beth.
That's what people call it. Get with the time.
I'm not with the times. I'm not with the times. I did. I think that was a long time ago. But the one that you were talking about in that vlog was when I was reading Ashley's recommendations, and that was migrations, and I sobbed and like mascara running, like I cried for like an hour after I finished it. It was so
I cried that I can think of in 3 reading vlogs that I've done.
Okay. So what's your answer? And I'll tell you what I wrote.
Well, I mean, I can tell you a bunch of books that made me cry.
Okay. You're going to answer what you think I put, though.
Oh, what I think. The last book in the Grant County series.
Oh, that's not what I put. I didn't know you cried about that one. You did. You totally did. You totally did.
TikTok of me crying after I read it.
The one that came to mind for me was, I think it was Reminders of Him.
Mm-hmm,
Is that her newest one where you didn't like it, but you were like bawling at the end?
No, I loved that book, but I bawled my eyes out. But I love that book because it also, the thing that happens in that book happened to my mom in real life. So that's why it all, like, I swear Colleen Hoover just knows how to hit me where in the feels.
I knew I was going to guess a Colleen Hoover for you.
The book that I cried, that I hated, but I cried in my reading vlog, it's like the very first clip of the reading vlog, I'm like holding onto this table and crying.
Mm-hmm. That was the one I was thinking of. Oh, that's the one I was thinking of. Okay. Yeah. So neither of us got a point for that. So far, I have 6 points for me and 5 points for you, and I don't know if that's accurate at all. So that's where I'm at with the points. Have you been keeping track of the points?
No.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave that. Next question. Number 14. We only have 2 left. Number 14. Who is the harsher book critic? I think we both know the answer to this.
These markers smell so good. I like the smell of permanent marker.
I do too, actually.
Like gasoline.
Yes.
Rubber burning, like a tire, like when they peel out.
Yeah. My favorite, though, is like copper, like old pennies,
Oh, I
or
can't. It reminds me of blood.
oh no, I love that. And then also, like when I was a kid, I ice skated for a while, and I had this plastic little suitcase that I kept my ice skates in. And whenever I opened it up, it smelled like this, like ice and metal, and it's like my favorite childhood memory smell.
Oh,
I
my
know.
favorite childhood memory smell, you may know because you're my age. We had these strawberry shortcake dolls that you could smell their hair, and you could have that doll for like 5 years, and the hair would still smell like strawberries, but like artificial strawberries. I don't know.
Yes, I don't recall that exact doll, but I recall the smell, the artificial smell.
Strawberry. No? Okay, you
Yeah.
ready?
Yes.
And
You ready?
go.
Yep. I'm definitely the harsher critic.
Not me.
So
I'm like, you know what? I had a good time reading this. I don't care it had shitty writing. I don't care that the ending didn't have a period. I don't care if at the beginning of the book he had a Y at the end of his name. 5 fucking stars.
Yeah,
well,
pretty
on page 24, they misspelled interrupt.
yeah, that's me.
No, I can't. I just like to read for fun, not homework. And I feel like I take your advice. You read right.
More than I do. What should I change my channel name? Read analytically. That's my new channel name. I can't help myself. Like I don't want to be that person. I really don't. Like I want to be easygoing.
I felt like
at
the beginning of like my booktube thing, I felt like if I wasn't like nitpicky about my books, and even if I gave it 5 stars, I had to give it so many reasons as to why I did love it, and I had to make sure I pointed out a few things that I didn't like about the book to feel validated in my like opinion of the book. But now I don't care. If I pull this book out and I'm going to tell you that I fucking loved this book, that is all you need to know, is that I love it and I recommend it. End of story.
Yeah. That's the great thing about booktube though, is that like people have someone they can go to like you when they want that vibe, you know, of like, yes, get it, doesn't matter, I recommend it, it's all yours. And then they have other people they go to when they want to know like those like weird little intricacies and those weird little details. And I feel like
if you're a more picky reader, you're gonna seek out a more picky reviewer. Or if you need to do a review for an English class, don't come to my page.
Yeah, and I've been noticing lately actually, like as I've gotten more followers, like I have to be accurate. Like I never used to care about like I would just like say my thoughts, but now like people are calling me out when I'm wrong, and I'm like, oh, I gotta fact check myself.
Somebody called me out recently, and it really chapped my asshole. And it's only because it was in my Stephen King video. I mentioned The Long Walk, and if you look up The Long Walk on Goodreads, the synopsis is like 2 sentences, and that's all they give you. And so in order to get like a feel of what the book was about for me to talk about it in my video, I read a few of the reviews that had like the description of the book, and I thought it was a dystopian novel because it's like in a world, you know what I mean? I
totally get the Hunger Games reference that you were saying about that.
You know, because I don't know, but the guy, like, if you go back to my Stephen King video, he left me like a paragraph and he numbered all the things that I got wrong.
And, oh wow!
And it took all the willpower from the Jesus above for me not to respond to his comment. But he said, and then that's why I was like, well, it's not a dystopian. But if you look up the definition of a dystopian, it doesn't say it has to be set in the future. It just says in a world where, you know, there's no, I don't know.
I haven't read that book, but I bet you could argue that it is a dystopian.
I'm not very smart, so I can't technically argue. But I bet you it is a dystopian book. I don't know how to argue that because I'm not like you. I don't have, what do you call it? I feel like you could state your You know what I mean. I don't know what I mean. You know what I mean?
I think I want to be the kind of person that could do what you mean, but I don't know that I am. Sorry,
I think you are. I think
time
you
for Denver to eat.
argue the position, but I cannot because I'm just like, well, according to Google, then it is. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm rubber and you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks onto you. That's me going after them, but I can't do it. I can't. I'm just like, okay.
I get it. I get it. All right, let's move on. We have one more question. And that, ow, I hit my elbow. And that is, what is their favorite bookstore?
Oh.
And I think I know what yours is.
I don't know what yours is.
We have the same bookstores because we're both in Texas. But I'm not putting for you what mine is because I don't have. Never mind. I'm not going to give you more hints.
I feel like I buy so many books that I talk about where I get my books from all the time.
Physical bookstore. Physical brick and mortar.
Bookstore.
Not Pango Books. Brick and mortar.
Well, I know what mine is. And Pango Books wasn't mine. That's where where most of my books come from nowadays is not Pango Books. It's from a bookstore. And it ain't the big and bougie one.
But is it your favorite bookstore?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I might get this wrong. Okay. Do you have any idea what my favorite bookstore is?
Mm-mm. I don't even know where you shop at. I feel like you don't hardly ever do hauls.
I don't. I need to do a haul.
So I'm just gonna guess.
You have my favorite bookstore you have near you.
Well, I live in Houston. We have a lot of bookstores. Is it called? No. Okay. You ready? I think your favorite bookstore is, I don't know. So I just put Barnes and Noble.
No, it's not Barnes and Noble. It's Half Price Books. It's Half Price Books.
Okay.
And what is your favorite bookstore?
Half Price Books.
Damn it. I was gonna put that, but I know you live in Houston and you have this store.
Look.
And I don't have that here, so I thought
that
would be.
I mean, it's really cool to go to, and that's where you can get a ton of autographs, and a lot of authors go there for signings and stuff. And I've gotten quite a few of autograph books from there. But Half Price Books, I can get like 3 books there for the price of 1 book at Murder by the Book. So
I've never been there, but I know it's like renowned bookstore.
Yeah, it's like I think Houston's most popular bookstore, which is funny because when we go, there's only like 2 or 3 people in there. But
so both of our favorite store is the same store, and we both got it wrong for the other person.
I always shop at Half Price Books. We are always going. I'm really surprised that you got that wrong.
I love Half Price Books, although the one by my house kind of sucks, so I have to like drive into Dallas. Like I live in the burbs of Dallas. I have to like drive into Dallas to go to the big one. Carly says, I've read The Long Walk and it's very much a dystopian book.
I'm telling you, if that guy's comment is still on my Stephen King video, which Carly, I know that you're a subscriber to me because I've seen you in my other lives, but you can go and he like literally he mansplains everything that I've said wrong about The Long Walk.
Ouch. It's funny because since I've started reading horror, I feel like I've gotten more male followers.
Mm-hmm.
And as a thriller reviewer, like my followers were like 99% women. But now I'm seeing like more guys come into the equation, and I think it's interesting because a lot of guys read horror, but they don't read thrillers, which right. I think is weird because they seem to like be like 2 peas in a pod in my perspective.
I think Paul reads thrillers. Paul doesn't read horror. But I think some guys refuse to read books like thrillers and such because it makes them less manly. So we know a guy who reads like sci-fi / fantasy, but only like the really extensive, like high fantasy takes you a month to read. He won't read like, normal like Addie LaRue or something like that because I think it makes him feel less manly.
Maybe. I mean, that could be it. Oh, like, that's the same thing. Fantasy is a whole thing, though, too. Like, a lot of people that are, like, really diehard fantasy read a lot of the, like, epic stuff, a lot of the, Brandon Sanderson and these, like, epic fantasies. And I am afraid of those.
Me
typically,
too.
if I read fantasy, I like YA fantasy.
So, like, I wasn't like, that was just a joke, but, like, props to them who do read those because I am like I see people read and talk about Robin Hobbs all the time, and I'm envious because I want to like try them, but I'm scared.
Sure.
Like I follow Reagan, and she reads a lot of fantasy, and like I wish I could because I used to read fantasy back when I read YA fantasy, but I'm too terrified to dive into adult like high fantasy. You literally have to pay attention to the book kind of books. Can't do it.
I think the length just intimidates me. Like they're so in depth. I think I would enjoy them, but I'm so like I can't commit. Like I have commitment issues with high fantasy.
Or for me rather, it's the world building that intimidates me, and like the magical systems and like the more complex they are. Like I'm terrified of that because I'm like I don't have to take notes to remember all of this, or like if they have big family line, or like a lot of cast of people or what have you.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, so that is all of our questions.
Oh, that is?
I, however, have a bonus question if you're interested.
Okay.
Craig and David did a bonus question, but I made my own up. And this is going to be okay. So we're going to guess what each other is going to say about this, right? And we can wager our points. You have 6 points. I have 7 points. So I'm going to tell you what the question is. It's more or less a question, more of a categorization. And you can decide how many of your points you want to wager. And then we will see if we can guess each other's answer. Understand?
Uh-huh.
That makes sense? Okay. So we're going to do a kill, marry, do the do between Karen Slaughter, Stephen King, and Alice Feeney.
Okay.
You have to guess who I'm going to pick, and I have to guess who you're going to pick. How confident are you? How many points do you want to wager? There's really only 9 ways that this can go. If I did ace my stats class, but I could be wrong about that.
Do you like Alice Feeney?
I love Alice Feeney.
Okay. I feel like, I mean, I'm losing anyway, so I'm going to put all 6 of my points in there. If I lose, I lose.
Okay.
But I feel like your answers are going to be... Okay. Maybe not. I have my answers. I think that your answers are going to be the same. No. I don't know. I put all of mine in anyways, though, because I'm going to lose.
I'm putting all of mine in here. I'm wagering everything.
So I'm putting your answers down, right? Or I'm putting my answers?
You're putting my answers.
Okay.
And I'm putting your answers. I haven't even thought about what I was going to guess for you, though. I think you... Did you realize that Karen Slaughter and Stephen King have the opposite initials?
No, I didn't.
The more you know.
Are you ready?
Yes. Okay. Do you want to give me your answer first, or do you want me to give you mine first?
I'll guess yours, and then okay. really quick though, Carly, that's the other author I was going to mention, Joe Abercrombie, right? I want to, I'm not going to lie to you. I like the covers of his books, which is the reason why I really want to buy them because I think they're aesthetically pleasing, but I also want to read them. But I've had plenty of people tell me that if I were to read fantasy, that's the author that they would recommend like to fit me. But I always forget, like when I'm at Half Price Books, I always forget to go look at the fantasy section. Okay. So I think you are, wait, you're going to tell me yours, right? And then I'll tell you and then I'll show you what I put.
You gotta guess. Wait, okay, I'll tell you mine, yeah.
I already wrote those down. I already wrote my guess down.
All right, I'm going to kill, who am I going to kill?
I think you're going to kill Stephen King.
I am. I'm going to kill Stephen King. I'm going to marry Karen Slaughter, and I'm going to do the do with Alex Beatty.
Okay.
What did you write? Oh, you got it! So you wagered all 6 points, so now you have 12 points. Oh man, this could change the game here. All right. Whew.
I am going to kill Alice Feeney.
Okay.
Simply because she has less books than either other author. So are we really taking a loss here? Probably not. I'm going to FUCK Stephen King because his books are not like, they're like hit or miss, but like, so I feel like hit it and quit it kind of thing. You know what I mean? And but like when he hits, it's real good, you know? So I feel like it kind of made like when I love his books, they tend to be favorites. So, you know, anyway, and then I'm going to marry Karen Slaughter because somebody commented on one of my TikToks saying, I'm going to just say if Karen Slaughter punched me in the face, I would beg her to punch me again. And I feel that's my bones.
Karen Slaughter is not only like an amazing writer, but just like a cool chick. Like I would hang out with her. Like I think we would be friends. Like I just think she's cool. I probably shouldn't call her a chick, but like
you know what?
I mean? She's like.
Did you guess mine?
I guessed wrong.
Oh.
I guess you would kill Alice Beatty, marry Stephen King, and do the do with Karen. I got this one right. I got the first one right, but I got these two mixed up.
I like Stephen King, and I feel like there's only been so far. Let me think. I think I've only the lowest I've ever rated a Stephen King book is a 4. And the lowest I've ever rated Karen Slaughter is a 4. But I have more 5 stars from Karen Slaughter than I do of Stephen King. But like Karen Slaughter's like feel good, read it on a Sunday afternoon kind of book, which is really sad to say because a lot of people.
Yeah, she's Old Faithful.
And then Stephen King is like when I want to like feel really twisted and like enjoy people doing really disturbing things. I don't know. Anyway, that's my reasoning behind that.
So I wagered everything and I lost. So you're the winner. So you won this round of the Newly Booked game.
That's right, Courtney. Like I think. Well, I don't think I've read. A lot of people say all of Stephen King's books are long, but the only long book that I read of his so far, he does have long ones, is It. And I do think it's long. Then I can also argue that I feel like you need a lot of the town building and stuff in the book too as well. So I don't know.
Oh, thank you, Craig. This wasn't done in like exact format that I think maybe you would have wanted it to have been done, but this is, I think, what worked. And I think this is just another good option for anybody else who wants to do this tag. And I would encourage you guys to do this tag if you have somebody who you think you know well enough that you can, because it's a really fun idea. Although, like, maybe I'm not smart enough with how I phrased the questions. Like, that was kind of confusing. But I didn't watch the Newlywed Game. All right. Well, I think we'll probably call it then. I'd like to chit chat like we do on your channel, Beth, but I think I'm going to save that for another time.
Yeah, because my kids are crying.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you everybody who joined us today. This was so much fun. I'm so glad we did this. And this was my very first live on my channel. So we nipped in the bud. We killed it.
Don't take what I said to heart. I was just picking about how you overanalyze your books.
No. I don't.
Okay.
No, you're good, girl. You're good. All right. I don't even know how to do this. How do I end broadcast?
Yeah.
Beth, thank you for doing this with me. I should say. I appreciate you.
No problem. Had fun.
All right.
Good night.
Will see you soon. Bye, y'all.